dudes, I'm Brooke, and it's almost Valentine's Day. Aww. Valentine's Day, of course, is a fun time to celebrate with your significant other and spend time together, whether that's playing video games at home or going to a super fancy steakhouse. And with the whole theme of love in the air, a lot of people choose Valentine's Day to propose to their partners. And sometimes that goes wonderfully. After all, it should be a super exciting next official step in your relationship for couples who choose to get married. And the moment itself only lasts a few minutes most of the time. Someone gets on one knee and pops the question, and the other person hopefully says yes, and you go, OMG, love you, and then you can go celebrate however you'd like. Depending on how elaborate the proposal is, of course, the setup is another story entirely. For some people, setting up their proposal is something that can be weeks or even months in the making, with like multiple moving parts and a ton of stress, just leading up to that one moment that they want to be perfect and memorable for the person that they love. So when all of that thought and planning goes into a few minutes, and somebody else takes it upon themselves to ruin that moment, it just sucks. And it makes my fucking blood boil. Sometimes this happens by accident or unintentional carelessness, and sometimes it happens because a stranger is miserable and angry that another person's experiencing joy. So today we're gonna go through some moments where a couple's getting engaged and a third party completely ruins it, or tries to, because I love being upset. But before I make you angry, let me tell you about something that will make you happy. Today's sponsor, Chime. Today's video is sponsored by Chime. Chime is the #1 most loved banking app, offering a smarter way to manage your money. Guys, it's only February, so if you had a financial goal in mind for 2026, it's a great time to start thinking about how to move forward on it. But it's hard to reach your financial goals when you're paying little things like monthly or overdraft fees. Like, did you know the average American pays almost $300 a year in bank fees? That's where Chime comes in. I have personally loved my experience using Chime. Chime has no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, and no minimum balance fees. Traditional banks have a ton of overhead costs, like branches, buildings, and staff, and customers pay for that overhead through fees. Chime is digital first, so they can pass those savings and benefits to their members. Traditional banks aren't bad, they're just built for a different time. Chime is built for how people actually live now. Traditional banks are like cable TV. It's fine, I guess. But Chime is like streaming. Oh, and with Chime, you can also get your paycheck up to 2 days early. Chime members can also file their federal and state taxes for free through Chime. 100% free, 100% accurate calculations guaranteed. You can do so quickly and easily through the Chime app. On top of that, you can get your federal refund up to 5 days early when you direct deposit with Chime. That means faster access to your money. And the best part, you can get up to $350 when you sign up and set up qualifying direct deposits. Actual cash, not points. Exclusively through my link. It's honestly a great time to sign up for Chime right now because they are offering up to a $350 bonus, and you can earn up to 3.00% APY on your savings. The link is at the top of my description, or you can scan the QR code on screen. Thank you to Chime for sponsoring this video. Now back to me. So as I mentioned, for a lot of people who are going to propose, there's a ton of planning involved. And also a lot of people who are going to propose will tell some trusted family members and or friends because they either need help with the surprise or they just want to let them in on the news beforehand. Because of course, it's a big deal. And you don't want to just be like, oh, by the way, I proposed to your kid. My point is that this leads to more people than just the proposer knowing about it, and people can unintentionally say stupid shit that ruins the surprise. Like, for example, this TikTok that I came across.
I'm passing the phone to someone that might be getting married soon.
I'm passing the phone to someone who just ruined a proposal.
Like, girl, what are you fucking thinking? People in the comments of this TikTok were like, why did she even watch back the footage before she did her part? Because, like, when you do a I'm passing the phone to thing, typically the first person records and is like, I'm passing the phone to XYZ, and then gives the phone to the next person, and then the next person just hits record and says, I'm passing the phone to XYZ. And then when you end it, you can just play it through, and then you find out at the end what the person before you said. You don't know when they give it to you what they said. But dude, she didn't watch it back. She's in earshot. She's right fucking next to her. I know this because somebody commented that on the post, and the original person who posted it liked that comment, which is basically confirming my bias. But also, even if she wasn't in earshot, why would you make that risky ass fucking move in the first place? Like, I would be so fucking pissed if I was proposing to somebody and their mom or whoever let it slip like this. Especially because, and not to assign malice where there probably is none, but it almost feels intentional. Like she wants to be the one with the insider knowledge or something and is loving the fact that she got to spill the beans. Maybe I'm completely off here and it was completely unintentional, but the way that she like looks around after she says it and the girl after her reacts makes it feel like that to me. I feel like there are just certain personality types where they love to be the person who has intel or are like more in the know, and then they can't handle when they're not the one who's able to break the news for things like this. And that's why this rubs me the wrong way. That and the fact that even if I'm totally reaching, and I could be, it's just so stupidly careless. Like, you lock that information away and you pretend you don't know anything, other than possibly subtly making sure she has her nails done. As a quick side note, I can only imagine how stressful proposing is, especially if you're planning something that's like even relatively elaborate. When my husband proposed to me, I was under the impression that we were having like a nice little weekend staycation in Coronado. One of the nights we had a nice dinner planned in a spot that was walkable from our hotel, and unbeknownst to me, he had planned that on our walk to dinner, we were going to be passing the really pretty area that the hotel has their weddings at, because there's this romantic little arch thing, and he was going to propose there. Then we were going to walk to our dinner reservations, where I would be surprised to have both of our families there to celebrate. So he had called ahead of time to ask the hotel if there were any weddings that day or that weekend at all, and they had told him, no, don't worry about it, there totally isn't. And he said that in his stress, he called them a few times, and they were even kind of annoyed with him because they were like, dude, we told you there's no weddings, you're good. Like, every time he called, they were like, no, you're fine. So that morning of the day that he was going to end up actually proposing, we're walking past that area to go get coffee, and he saw them setting up a wedding with like chairs. And I was like, aw, somebody's going to get married tonight. How sweet. And he was like, would they not like set it up for maybe tomorrow if somebody's going to get married? Are you sure it's for tonight? Like, kind of stressing, which I didn't really pick up on at the time. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. And I was like, no, they would definitely do this like the morning of for tonight. So we go on about our day, and I'm thinking we're just having like a fun little chill day. But he's also like actively doing recon secretly and like figuring out a new location and like sending it to his friend who was going to be the photographer that was like hiding in the bushes, in like specific bushes, to take our photos at a certain time. So he's like freaking out, but he's playing it off super well, so I didn't even realize. So he ends up finally figuring out an area that he thinks is great or whatever, and we end up walking to dinner that way, which I never would have even realized it was a different way than we would have typically walked to dinner, because I don't fucking pay attention to directions. And we end up walking to dinner, and he's like, oh, let's take a selfie right here really quick. And I'm like, okay, great. And he had been telling me that we were like rushing to this dinner reservation, and I was like, okay, like, let's go. Like, I'm all stressed now to get to the dinner reservation because I'm thinking like, oh, we got to make sure we go. Like, let's take a quick selfie and then go. So we take our little picture, and then I immediately just turn and start walking because I'm like, we need to get to our dinner reservation. I'm like kind of like walking, and then he goes, Brooke, and I'm like, what? And I turn around, and I had walked like a good like 6 feet from him, and he was on one knee, and I was like, oh my God. Like, turned around and like ran back to him. But it's funny because like the first few pictures of our like of his proposal, like our engagement, are me like a little bit far from him, and then I quickly catch back up. It's really funny. And then right after that, I insisted on FaceTiming my mom, who I didn't realize was at the dinner location that we were walking to, and she played it off so fucking well. Like, I didn't even process the fact that she wasn't in her house. I like just kind of was so overwhelmed with the fact that I just got engaged that I was like so excited showing her my ring and everything. And when you look at the screenshot of the FaceTime that she took of like me showing her my ring, you can see that she's literally in the restaurant, just like on the ground, like sitting in front of a blank wall. And I didn't even question it at the time. So yeah, I can't even imagine how much stress it is to try and plan something and then have like one little thing go wrong, and then you're trying to figure it out, but you can't let the person you're with know that you're trying to figure something out, and that person knows you better than anybody, so like they're gonna catch on to something. But luckily I'm a fucking idiot apparently, because I didn't catch on. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. As far as people fucking things up and spoiling surprises, sometimes it isn't as much of a gray area. Sometimes it's just straight up spoiled. Like, get into this. But when I saw this the first time, my thoughts were like, why the actual fuck would you announce it right before he does it? And that there's like no excuse for this one of like, maybe he thought it already happened or something like that, because he literally says, I know you're gonna propose, as in future tense, like it hasn't happened yet. And then I was like, to have the ever-loving gall to go, oh, he's really gonna do it, because like, yeah, dude, you didn't give him a fucking choice. And I was thinking like, he didn't have a ring or anything, so who knows if he had one ready for something like later on. And it made me wonder if he had like gotten wind of the fact that he was going to propose. So he said that to pressure him to do it live right there instead of another time so he could get the footage of him doing it on his reporting segment. So that was all what I thought initially when I first saw this. But I looked more into this because I wanted to see if they had said anything about it afterward, and they have. I found an article written 10 years after the fact in the Idaho Press where they talked about it, and it said that the football player Ian Johnson was planning to propose to his girlfriend Chrissy anyway, and he had initially planned to do it a few days after this, but when he described his plan to his friends, which was going to be like on the beach and pretending to reach for something and pulling the ring out, they all like said that was really dumb. So he was like, well, what do you guys think I should do instead? And I guess his friends told him, like, to win his football game and do it on national TV. But then apparently he hadn't thought of it since then until this reporter came up to him after the game and asked for an interview. And he was like, oh, this is actually perfect. I'll do it now. Because I guess they had just won the game and they were celebrating. So when the reporter asked for the interview, Ian was like, yeah, but I want to propose. So he did tell the reporter right then, like, to expect it in their interview. So the reporter knew to expect it. But then when they were talking about the game and everything, the reporter said that he started getting told in his ear from his producer that he needed to rap. So he said that to keep them rolling live because the producer didn't know the story. So the reporter said, and I quote, I stepped in with that line because my producer didn't know the story and he said he wanted to propose and they are yelling in my ear, come on, you have to rap. I was thinking in my mind, how subtly can I do this? I had asked a couple questions and I was kind of looking at him like, didn't you say something about a proposal? So I guess that makes a lot more sense, but I will say he probably could have said something like, before we wrap, I know you said you have some big news or something to that effect instead, but I get that it probably happened so fast that he did what he could to keep the cameras rolling in the moment. Ian made a comment about it in this article as well, and this is what he had to say. I look back at it all and it's just been a huge blessing for me and my family. It's the 10-year anniversary of the game, but it's also the 10-year anniversary of the proposal. Just being able to share it with not only my Boise State family, but my daughter and my wife, that's where this becomes truly something special for me. The 10-year anniversary, a perfect mark for everything. You couldn't dream up a better story. It's a perfect story, and I'm just blessed to have been on that team and in that game. So, good for them. If they don't care, then I guess why should I? He also was about to do it right then anyway, so it's not like he had some plan hours later that was spoiled or something. It was only about 2 seconds of it being spoiled. But it seems like Ian would have rather had it be on TV and mildly spoiled than not on TV at all. But speaking of something being spoiled, spoiler alert, guys, we didn't beat Mr. Beast for feminism in time for my birthday. No! If you're new here, it's misogynistic that Mr. Beast has more subscribers than me, so we've all been working together to remedy that for feminism. We were hoping to do that in time for my birthday, February 9th, but we were a little bit shy this year. That's okay though, because there's always next year. We won't give up. Hashtag sharks bite beasts, guys. Anyway, one of the things that happens the most with proposals getting ruined is people just straight up being in the fucking way. And listen, is it the end of the fucking world if somebody was in the photo or video of your proposal? Surely not. But it is just very frustrating for all of that time and energy that can go into creating a very special moment and then having somebody just fuck it up when all you need is like max 2 minutes. There are two camps of these people. There are people who are genuinely being rude and getting in the shot because they don't fucking care. And then there are people who just lack situational awareness and didn't even realize. Both are fucking annoying to me, but the intentional one is obviously way worse. So let's take a look at the unintentional ones first. Like in this TikTok, this girl says, my fiance thinking he was so smart to hire a videographer to capture this special moment between just the two of us, but... my sister had other plans. Like, that was very obviously unintentional, and she's just trying to get photos as well. But girl, come on. Luckily, she's far enough to the side that she can easily be either photoshopped out or even cropped out, but it's still a little annoying. Like, pay attention. There's a hired videographer. Your iPhone photos are not needed. They get worse though. Like in this one, where they say, the photographer warned everyone that a proposal was about to happen before the couple came. This guy didn't get the memo. Like, they were literally told ahead of time that there would be a proposal. So to just let the couple have a quick moment to themselves. Situal awareness of a fucking mosquito, dude. Like, I get that it's a public place, so you don't get to demand that everybody move out of the way for your engagement, but what happened to just being polite to one another and having common courtesy? How about just being a good person for the 1 minute that they're being engaged? How about 8 inches and thick? How about talented? How about loving and respectful? Anyway, here's the next one. So this one went super viral when it happened because it's just so fucking ridiculous that it almost looks staged. Like, they clearly had no idea that they were blocking the camera because it's just a phone propped up. But Jesus Christ, look around when you enter a new space. It obviously was just an innocent mistake, and the couple were really good sports about it. But the lack of awareness about your surroundings is truly otherworldly to me. But like I said, sometimes it isn't a lack of awareness. Sometimes it's just pure evil. Or pure fucking stupidity. Like, I'm sorry, but you know what is happening, and surely you can move over or wait a fucking second. Like, what are you getting out of this? I truly don't understand. It would take all of 1 minute, max, to just wait and allow them to have their moment, if it is that dire to you to be in that exact spot. Or you can just scoot over a few feet. Like, you aren't giving anything up. But instead, you're putting a huge damper on one of the happiest moments of their lives. So fucking bizarre. Another one that's similar to that is this one.
Oh, brother!
Like, girl, just walk around. It's an empty fucking beach. And it might just be the walking through water and sand, but it almost seems like she's slowing down to be petty. But regardless, like, you saw that he was on one knee before you walked up. Like, you could just wait or walk around, dude. It's just cruel for no reason. And this next one I almost felt like was in the category of meaning well but lacking situational awareness, but I decided I think it was worse than that. Like, the photographer literally had to shove her out of the way. Like, dude, move. She might as well get in between them. Use some common fucking sense and back up. They don't need a glam bot of this moment from your shaky iPhone 12. Facing the wrong way, mind you, not even looking at the Eiffel Tower. I don't mean to generalize here, but I have noticed a lot of the times it's like older people getting in the way in moments like this, or in a wedding in an attempt to get their own photos on their phones. And I think it's because they didn't grow up with like easy photo sharing like AirDrop or sending a bunch of pictures via text or shared albums. So it might be hard for them to remember that they don't need one on their phone too, because it will be shared with them. And again, I don't mean to generalize that like everybody over a certain age does this, because that's like absolutely not the case. But when it does happen, I could see that as being like a reason why. But anyway, in the theme of people taking photos that they don't need to, let me show you this one. So that's their hired photographer that accidentally knocked over the decor. And yes, that is super annoying, but honestly, I don't blame him as much as I blame the 400 fucking people that are 1 foot away from the couple and taking pictures with their phones. I counted 7 phones in the frame of the phone that this video was filmed on. Like, guys, the professional photographer is being paid to photograph this moment. Get the fuck out of the way. Also, like, isn't the couple supposed to be in the center of this heart and red carpet? Why are the people's fucking phones in the center of it? Move! Move! There should be like one person designated to film and the rest of the people stand the fuck back and move out of the way. And they were very sweet about this to just say it's okay and brush it off instead of throwing a fit or getting upset or something. Because of course it was an accident and he seemed like he felt horrible. After all, it isn't about getting the perfect photos or videos. It is about the commitment and promise you're making to your partner. I say in the middle of my giant rant about people ruining the photos and videos, but two things can be true. And speaking of people ruining the photos and videos, this woman didn't just do that. She managed to somehow insert herself into the proposal entirely.
Helping the girl. Where'd she go? Hiding over there. That's very nice. She covered the cake. I told her to cover the cake with the birthday. That's a nice sign. Let me see your ring. Let me see your ring. Let's see the ring. Oh, you didn't put it on yet. She's pretty. Wow. That's cute. My daughter's next. Don't lose the ring now. Be careful.
Dude, normalize telling people like this to fuck off. In the beginning, I was like, maybe she's just adjusting the sign. Like, terrible choice, but could have been well-intentioned at least. But then to stick around the entire time and talk to them in the middle of it while like walking around the video of their moment in your fucking bikini, just like narrating the things and like yapping. Like, bitch, leave! I'm assuming she's drunk and like got excited to see people get engaged, hence the like, let me see the ring. But this isn't a bar bathroom. It's their engagement. And it's like still actively happening. Like, go, leave. I can just see them like up at the altar getting married and she's like sauntering up, like investigating, being like, what you guys got going on here? Vows? Aw. Go away. This next video is super similar because it's also a stranger inserting themselves into someone else's proposal, but at least in this case, it seemed like they were still setting up and weren't in the middle of it yet. Plus, there are dogs in this video, so that's good. It's like a reward.
Okay, you can go outside. We can need our space because it's cold around, please.
Once the cops come, if the cops tell us to leave, then that's fine. We
Can
can
you
go ahead
please
and leave.
remove your dogs?
But your dogs are in our property, so once the cops come, if they tell us to leave, we will leave. Okay?
I don't know if you realize that, but all the petals get covered with
We're not going to put those petals. These are all attached flowers. Those are attached. Those are on the thing just like this.
Can you move? Your dog's touching me, please.
We don't know if your dogs bite.
Can you please move? Awesome.
That's fine.
Thank
we can
you.
record her too.
Bye-bye, sweetheart. Yellow.
John,
you
take
can
this.
go.
We can record her too.
Do you like getting recorded or no?
I don't mind.
All right, Karen.
Okay, that's fine.
Move on,
We're
Karen.
in a public area, so we don't mind being recorded too. But if the cops come tell us to move, then we will move.
All right.
So long, Karen.
It's ridiculous, bro. I didn't know you owned this either. What did I cut? I just cut.
We're very threatening, I guess.
Fucking crazy. It's fine. She has nothing to do with it.
You don't like to see love?
Yeah, she's probably not married. Fucking
What'd you do?
fine. If the cops come, we'll leave. But you're nobody. We're not gonna listen to you. What petals? We won't fucking petals. It's fine.
From what I can gather, she called the cops on them for setting up like a proposal area in a park. She seemed like she was trying to say that her issue was that the fake petals of the flowers were gonna be like litter, but like the person filming said, it's attached flowers, and also mind your fucking business. And you guys know I'm a huge dog person and I love dogs so much. But it is really irresponsible as a dog owner to have that little control over your dogs. It isn't fair to strangers or your dogs. Aside from moments like this where your dogs are literally in people's belongings, you just also don't know who's terrified of dogs or allergic to dogs or a multitude of different things. A lot of times people who keep their dogs like off leash, for example, will say things like, "Oh, he's really friendly and well behaved." And that's great. That might be super true, but my dog low-key isn't. And if your big, friendly, well-behaved golden retriever approaches my reactive chihuahua mix wanting to be friends, it's gonna scare the fuck out of her. Then God forbid she nips at your dog. First of all, it isn't fair to either of our dogs. Now your dog could be hurt, and you're probably gonna try and sue me. There's a reason we're on a walk and not at a dog park. If I'm walking Navy, I hold her close when we pass another dog, or I pick her up if the dog is off leash or like too close. And sometimes the owners will like act offended by that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not profiling your big dog. My little dog is just reactive. And she deserves her space and her boundaries and to be respected too, for the safety and well-being of both of our dogs. Anyway, that's a total tangent, but back to the matter at hand. Fuck that bitch, and those sweet dogs deserve to be paid more attention to on their walks. This next video is another one that went super viral a few years back when it happened because it was put on Reddit under the sub, "I am a total piece of shit." The OP titled it, "Piece of shit destroyed my best friend's moment. He asked for permission beforehand."
Yes, that's great, but over here she's gonna be even better.
Like, dude, is it that serious? First of all, he asked for permission, so why are you so confident that he didn't? And low-key, even if he didn't, why are you dick riding for Disney that hard? If he was worried about himself getting in trouble, he could have at least just waited until they got their moment and then walked up and handled it so he didn't like ruin the whole moment. And this blew up into such a big thing that if I had been somebody who was like previously wanting to propose in that spot or even at Disney in general, it would have made me absolutely think, never mind, which can't be a great look for them. Not that I think Disney is super concerned about their profit, but still, it's just an asshole power trip and like a dick move. And to like snatch the ring box out of his hand too is crazy. Let me put this into words that cast member will understand. You are the Ursula of their story right now. Try becoming a flounder in the future. And because these were all very frustrating, let me just show you one interrupted proposal that I actually think qualifies as a palate cleanser.
Maybe taking a video because it's been that solid red light.
Alright guys, I'm gonna call it right there. For more videos, check out my second channel, Brookesharks Bites, where I post beauty and lifestyle content. A lot of you guys comment asking if I have a makeup or a hair tutorial, and I do on my second channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can join my Patreon. I post some extras over there, and I also have a Patreon exclusive Discord. Thanks again to Chime for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for checking out Chime. Don't forget to beat the shit out of the like button and murder the subscribe button, and if you're feeling crazy, you can propose to the bell. I'll see you soon with another video.